If you're running pre-orders for the very first time and you want to do it properly without getting flagged by Shopify, this video is for you. Or if you've run pre-orders before but want to learn about the different approaches, different methods, and which one suits your business best, you'll learn some practical things from this video as well. In my last two videos, we covered what you need to do before capturing waitlist signups and running pre-orders, and the basic workaround to set them up on Shopify without any pay apps or coding, because Shopify doesn't have any built-in pre-order functionality. Hi, I'm Josiah, the co-founder of Early Bird app, and today we're going to look at when you need a Shopify pre-order app, the different ways to run pre-orders and which one suits you best, how to transition smoothly from waitlist to pre-orders through our app Early Bird. We're Aussie founded, by the way, we're based in Brisbane. And then we'll set up a waitlist and coming soon pre-order campaign together. I'll also walk you through our advanced pre-order features like partial payment, sending shipping updates whether your stock arrives early or has delays, and sending waitlist emails with your customer experience in mind, etc. Now, there are no lack of Shopify app demos out there. I'm very well aware of that. Everyone makes it more about, hey, look at how great our app is, rather than, hey, here's what benefits your business. So this video is more about sharing the learnings we've had from working with over 1,000 merchants now. If you've been following my videos, you'll see this number keep going up. And the strategy behind when and how to use the different pre-order methods. Because you can have the best pre-order setup in the world, but ultimately, waitlists and pre-orders are just part of your business operations. They need to work alongside your marketing, customer experience, inventory management, fulfillment, and such. So let's get started. Let's address this first. So in my part 2 video, I show how to set up waitlists and pre-orders manually by yourself without a pay app, even though we have a free plan. So why am I making this video? For some product categories, your business model might need more than just changing the add to cart button text. You might need an app if you're handling a high volume of pre-orders on a day-to-day basis. So you might be a collectible store, bookstore, or selling high-ticket items. So pre-orders will be business as usual for you. You might be shipping pre-orders beyond 30 days. You might want to let customers place a deposit first and capture their deferred payment beyond a 7-day window. You might want to gauge inventory demand by specific variants, not just by products. So it is very common amongst apparel and fashion brands. Or you might want to have more control over who, how, and when you email your waitlist instead of blasting everyone all at once. So these are some of the common reasons why you want to use a built for Shopify pre-order app, so you won't be flagged by Shopify and have your account put on hold for taking payments early without fulfilling their orders for a long period of time. Limitations. Now, I'll be honest about limitations. Shopify has some restrictions that many merchants don't realize, even though Shopify do list them in the official FAQs, but that's about it. They don't make it well known. Pre-orders currently don't work with ShopPay, Apple Pay, or Google Pay, any accelerated checkouts. Only works with Shopify Payments or PayPal. Doesn't work with buy now, pay later services like Klarna or Afterpay, but you can use apps like ours, Early Bird, for partial payments. So it's 2 installments, not 4, and we don't charge you commission fees. So high-ticket item stores like furniture, bikes, they do prefer using Early Bird for the deposit feature. Pre-orders also don't work with subscriptions or buy get Y discounts. Doesn't work with bundles or upsell, cross-sell. So we have some help articles around the workarounds there. Also don't work with external sales channels like Google or social media shops. So you might be able to display the product, but it won't indicate to your customers it's a pre-order or out of stock. So that's where the customer expectation might be a bit confusing there. And so that's why our app also has the back order feature as a workaround, which is a simplified version of pre-orders for scenarios like these. Anyway, so the manual approach I mentioned in part 2 works great for simple scenarios. If you're just starting out, you're selling just a few products, you're taking payment in full upfront, and you're shipping within 30 days, you'll be fine. But if you want to let customers place a deposit first as a reservation, you might also want to provide them with a great end-to-end pre-order customer experience, show all the info on product page, in cart and checkout, run dedicated campaigns, and this is where an app like ours will help you take it to the next level. Now let's explore the most common pre-order approaches. When I onboard new merchants, the first question I ask is, how do pre-orders fit into your business operations? Because the way you run pre-orders can be quite different based on your business model, not just your product category. For example, 2 fashion brands, one is high-end made to order. Pre-orders are business as usual, deeply embedded into their day-to-day operations. The other brand is a streetwear label that only opens up pre-orders every now and then for new designs or seasonal drops. So same industry, completely different approach to running pre-orders. And then another example based on catalog size. A bookstore with thousands of SKUs is often better off just running back orders, keeps the sales flowing for sold-out products, while a store selling just a few hero products would be better off running dedicated pre-order campaigns. Coming soon campaigns, where you capture waitlist signups before you open up pre-orders. So this is why it's not as simple as, hey, let's run pre-orders, because I've spent a lot of time talking to merchants from 7 to 8 figures Shopify brands to small local businesses over the past year to understand how pre-orders fit into different business models across all types, sizes, and verticals. Scenario 1, so keep selling pre-orders until the campaign ends. This is the first option you'll see when you set up a pre-order campaign in our app. So we'll walk through our app step by step later. Regardless of stock levels, whether your inventory level is above zero, at zero, or negative, your customers can pre-order these products. The goal here is to sell as many pre-orders as possible to validate actual demand through sales, not just waitlist signups. Now, typically you want to do this before you place a manufacturing order so you can meet high MOQs to reduce your cost per unit or the cost of your raw materials. This approach works best for made-to-order items, so jewelry, high-end fashion, art, and handcrafted items, because you don't start production until you have orders, right? And there's no real stock level since everything is made on demand. Also suits new product launches, especially for established brands. Since you're an established brand, your customers are more willing to wait for the long lead time, including the time it takes to manufacture the products. Of course, even better if you have product demand or just brand loyalty. So you can test demand and see if there's enough interest before you commit to larger production runs for better MOQ pricing. Scenario 2, only sell pre-orders while in stock. So this is the second option in our pre-ordering campaign where customers can only pre-order while inventory level is above zero. In simpler terms, you're selling pre-orders in limited quantities. Now this works for two scenarios. You might be a new brand with limited capital. You might not want to run pre-orders before you place a manufacturing order. You simply want to wait till the stock is on its way to the warehouse and you open up pre-orders and secure cash flow earlier. Or you might be an established brand who want to create scarcity with limited edition drops. If you're a new brand, you can expect about 1 to 5% of your waitlist signups will convert into pre-orders. That's based on our merchants across the board. If you're an established brand, you can expect anywhere between 20% to 50% of your waitlist conversion rate, and then 14% for your back in stock conversion rate. Obviously, this varies by product category and price point, might even be a bit different based on where you're located as well. Scenario 3, only sell pre-orders while out of stock. So the third option here in our pre-order campaign lets you run back orders just like pre-orders. Customers can only pre-order products while inventory level is at zero or below. Now, we have a back order feature. It utilizes Shopify's continuous selling when out of stock. And then when you enable it, it lets your customers place an order for sold out products. As simple as that, very straightforward. Sometimes though, we have merchants who have a large catalog and want to let customers purchase any sold out products. More so like a restock, not necessarily a new product launch. So this is why we have designed this feature in our early bird app. As you can see, pre-orders are not a one size fits all type of thing. So if you want to get lots of pre-sales, keep your customers happy, then the timeline, communication, and payment options should all be tailored based on your business model and product category. Always happy to help if you send us an email or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. What about waitlist signups? Now, when I was doing market research before launching our early bird app, I noticed many brands were just capturing waitlists or back in stock signups or just running pre-orders and back orders. But it shouldn't be one or the other. The better approach is to combine them together as part of your customer journey, which is why I've made these 3 videos about how to set up a coming soon campaign, waitlists and pre-orders. So you start with waitlist first when you're unsure about the demand or the fulfillment timing. The signups are your leading indicator. They're just an expression of interest, but doesn't reflect true demand yet because it's not actual money. There's no sale. When you're happy with the volume of signups or when you know the fulfillment timing, that's when you can open up pre-orders. You have an email list ready to be notified, so that's less reliance on using ads to reach new customers or your customers since you own this email list. And then for high-ticket items, you can use partial payment to capture a commitment to buy. This way is a lower barrier for your customers, or ideally, you should capture a full payment upfront because it's better for cash flow this way, and then you can invest in other business aspects earlier. Either way, pre-orders is what reflects the actual demand because that's an actual sale. There's money coming in. If you're already capturing waitlists and back in stock signups, make sure you're capturing consent to send customers marketing emails, letting customers sign up for specific variants, not just at the product level in general, and not blasting the email to everyone all at once. This way you can avoid sending people to a sold out product page again, which is a terrible customer experience. Otherwise, you're missing out opportunity to grow your mailing list and wasting the traffic you've driven to your product pages. All right, time to walk you through setting up our coming soon campaign from start to finish. I'll use my test development store to show you what customers will see on the storefront and what you manage behind the scenes. So I don't have a script with this. I'm just going with the flow. So pardon me if I start rambling or I start talking too fast because I do that when I get excited. But so first, we install our app with just 2 clicks. So this test store that I've just installed our app, well, because I was doing a test run before, but when you first install an app, you'll see a button here on the app's homepage that says activate the app embed. So you click on that, and what it'll do is it'll open up the theme editor. And you can see here on the left here, ignore this development app, but this is the actual early bird app. You'll see here is already toggled on to embed into your theme. And then all you have to do is press save. This button would have been clickable. You press save, that's it. That's as simple as it is to install our app. And then you go back here, then it'll this to-do list, this circle here, it'll be marked as done. And then so now let's go to the other test store that I usually spend most of my time on. Oh, sorry, I was doing a test run before, but let's go to the pre-orders page. And you can see here, let's go create a new campaign. And we have a main dashboard for all pre-order campaigns. And then we click into the draft campaign that I was previously working on. And we'll see a dashboard within the campaign to compare, well, to look at the overall revenue, but also you can override the display. And you can also view sales breakdown, not just by product, but also by variance. So let's edit the campaign and you'll see the interface of the setup. And then so as mentioned, you'll see the 3 pre-order options we've just covered in the video earlier. So this one is sell as many pre-orders as possible so you can meet high MOQs, reduce the cost per unit. This one is selling pre-orders in limited quantities. And the third one is if you want to run back orders just like pre-orders with the advanced features like deposits and like the campaign comparing performance, etc. And so depending on which one you choose, so let's just say the limited pre-order quantities, there'll be a stock limit section that pops up. And then so if you have different stock levels for each product or variant, you can manually manage them yourself. Otherwise, you can automatically apply the same number. So I've put 10 here across the whole campaign. So Early Bird will do that for you automatically. Continue selling when out of stock. So this is Shopify's functionality to let customers place an order even when your inventory level is at 0 or negative. So depending on your pre-order approach, our app can either enable this for you or disable it for you. So enable it for unlimited pre-orders. So you can see here, must be turned on because we want customers to be able to place an order regardless of the inventory level. But if you want to sell in limited quantities, then it'll say here, continue selling when out of stock, must be turned off. Because we don't want customers to be able to continue place an order. Duration. So this is where you decide when to open up pre-orders. So you can schedule a future start date. So today is the September 18th. So actually let's start November 1st. And then so what will happen then is it will show an unclickable coming soon button. So I've opened the product page right here, this one. So it will show an unclickable coming soon button on the product page because we don't want your customers to be able to place a pre-order just yet. And then, let me quickly let you know about this. This is the back in stock feature, and then it serves as a waitlist for your pre-order campaign, which we'll go through later how to activate it. And then so when you click on it, then you can have general product level sign up or by variant. Now back to the campaign. So after duration, actually, I should talk about the different types of setup here as well. So just now we mentioned you can schedule a future start date, or you can select the current date. So as of today is September 18th, and then you'll start running pre-orders right away, immediately, once you press save and you publish the campaign. Or you can set an end date, and the page will revert to selling as normal add to cart afterwards, once it reaches the end date. So just one thing to quickly note here. Where is it? Well, I don't have a pre-order. Actually, here, sure. Let's use this. So this add pre-order to cart button, we actually swap the whole add to cart button out to replace it with a pre-order button. So the reason why we do that is we don't want your customers to accidentally place a normal order and then signal to Shopify that, hey, there's a normal order, it's not a pre-order. Whereas a lot of apps out there, they simply change your button text. So just thought I'll point this out, that our app takes a very specific approach to make sure that your customer experience is taken care of. And then so if you set an end date, like I mentioned just then our app will swap out the button back for you. So it will sell as normal add to cart by the end date. Or if you don't set an end date, you can sell ongoing pre-orders. So commonly used for made-to-order items. Like I mentioned just now, pre-orders are part of your daily operations. It's business as usual. So that's when you don't want to set an end date. And then select your products and variants. So each campaign can choose up to either 250 products or 250 products and variants in total. So for this campaign example, I've only chosen one product and then both variants. And then you can add filters. All these is based on Shopify's own UI library, as in their design. So that's why it feels very much like you're just using Shopify. And then purchase options. So if your customers are happy to pay in full upfront, that's great. If not, you can lower the barrier by letting them place a dollar or percentage deposit first, even $0 as a reservation. And then you can capture the reverse payment on a set date. So on a specific date here, or after X number of days, as in after a specific number of days, if you're running ongoing pre-orders. So this way you don't have to worry about updating the payment due date for each customer or each pre-order that comes in. Just thought I'll quickly mention though, the pay a deposit is a feature within our pay plan. But with our free plan, you'll have access to the pay in full and then the discount as well. And then so our app's discount feature, so you can see here discount type, is actually separate from Shopify's discount codes. So you can stack discounts if you want to, but I'm not a fan of discounting, so I'll let you know that. It cheapens your brand value and effort. So I usually recommend our merchants to look at incentives that are value adding without hurting your margins, without eating your margins. So like here, what I've put here, instead of just saying, hey, pay in full today, get 10% off, I also mentioned that you can get priority shipping. So priority shipping means for people who have pre-ordered. So if the stock arrives at the warehouse and then people place a normal in-stock order, they'll have lower priority in terms of us fulfilling the orders or us shipping out the orders. If you sell high-tech items like furniture or bikes or electronics, a common method we recommend is also you can extend the warranty periods because that's at no real product cost to you. You can even do a free consultation. I know like some people who sell surfboards, they do free lesson for parents and their kids. So all of these are like time is a cost or there's no like actual practical cost there. So food for thought for you to think about. Or simply, if you want to keep it simple, you can just offer partial payments during the pre-order period. And then you might have noticed here, reserve your bike today and pay nothing until we ship. So even though final payment is auto-collected, so on a specific day or after X number of days, we actually do have a Shopify flow for collecting upon fulfillment, which is quite common across stores like they sell collectibles or high-tech items. So they prefer to do that. So we've built a Shopify flow for that. All right, fulfillment. So this section is important because what you choose here will be shown to your customers on the product page, in cart and at checkout. And this way you assign the default order status to your pre-orders in your Shopify admin as well. If you choose a specific on a specific day as your expected fulfillment date, two things will happen. So just like I quickly mentioned already, customer will see the date you've selected on the product page, in cart and at checkout. But also our app will signal to Shopify to assign your pre-order with the schedule status. So let me quickly pause this and go find a campaign with that. Okay, I managed to find just one order with the schedule status. So this is a separate campaign, not the one that we were trying to set up. But you can see here on the campaign dashboard, not the main campaign, main dashboard where you see all the campaigns. You can see here with this order, 1021, the fulfillment status is scheduled. That's because I chose the expected fulfillment date to be on a specific date. And then all these are either I've changed the status from scheduled to unfulfilled, which I'll go through in just a minute, or I've chosen the expected fulfillment date to be another option, which let's go back to the campaign and I'll walk through that. So back to the draft campaign here, if I choose the expected fulfillment date to be as soon as possible, it will display ASAP on your product page, in cart and at checkout. And then by default, your pre-order status will be unfulfilled, which is what every normal in-stock order has. And then I should have explained a bit more about the schedule status. I'm sorry, going a bit all over the place now, but the schedule status signals to Shopify and its banking partners that your delay fulfillment is intentional, which will prevent them from flagging and putting your account on hold, even if you ship beyond 30 days. So that's the difference between on a specific date and as soon as possible. And then if you choose, actually, let's continue talking about as soon as possible first. So if you're not using a pre-order app, and you're shipping beyond 30 days, that's when it waves to a red flag to Shopify, because they'll think your customers have bought normal in-stock items, but you haven't shipped anything to them yet. So if you're not ready to use an app yet, which is completely fine, my recommendations to different people who've asked about this is to document everything. I'll show the help article on the screen here, and I'll link you to it in the video description. But when the Shopify staff reaches out to you, you have a whole heap of evidence to show them that, hey, I'm not a scammer. I'm just running pre-orders. I'm just not using a pre-order app yet. And then if you choose not sure as your expected fulfillment date, the orders will be put on hold and it won't show any fulfillment info throughout the customer journey, unlike when you go with a specific date. And then you can also customize the text on your product page in our display settings, which I'll pause this video and take you to it. And then so display settings here, you can customize the button text, or you can update the defer payment notice and the defer fulfillment notice. So this store-wide across all your campaigns. But back to our draft campaign, you can actually customize display and create an override. So you can see here, there's a banner that will tell you that, hey, you're creating an override just for this campaign. And then you can also go to localization, and you can, there's a whole heap of different things that you can customize the text for, whether it be the badges or the labels that shows in cart and checkout as well. All right, so for our coming soon campaign example, let's pretend we're going to sell this Jan Snow electric bike. Campaign name, you can put whatever you want here. This is my naming convention. And then so we plan to only sell 20 of these bikes. So let's choose only sell pre-orders while in stock. We only want to sell in limited quantities, right? We plan to stock 20 for each variant. So we can let the app automatically update for us here. So stock limit, early bird will set this as the available stock. We can let early bird do that. And then continue selling when out of stock, because we don't want to oversell. So again, we can let early bird disable continue selling when out of stock for us here, because it's just one product with 2 variants. And then so today, at the time of recording, is the 18th of September. So let's schedule a start date for just after 30 days. I don't know. Let's just do 24th. And then so by setting a future start date, like I mentioned, your pre-order now button will automatically become a coming soon button. So here, it's unclickable. And then until we arrive on that schedule date, or if you bring that date forward, as in after you publish this campaign and then you come back here to the settings and you bring it forward. Otherwise, it will keep showing the coming soon now button. For payments, so we chose the product with both the yellow and gray variants. And then for the payment options, we can offer both at the same time if you're on a pay plan. Otherwise, you'll have access to pay in full and also the discounts. So let's try that. Offer both. Entice them to pay with a small discount. Let them know they'll get priority shipping, or they can pay a $0 deposit. So update this to amount $0 deposit for a reservation, and then they can pay the rest on a later specific date, the start of November. It's also I mentioned this just now, but it's also possible to capture the deferred payment upon fulfillment. We have a Shopify Flow template for that, so just email us and we'll help guide your setup. Otherwise, expected fulfillment to be in mid-November. Let's do mid-November. Since we've selected a specific date, the pre-order will be assigned the schedule status in the admin, and then the date will be displayed to customers on your product page, in cart, and at checkout. And then all you need to do next is, I'll just need to save this. And then all you need to do next is just schedule and publish the campaign, and that's it for pre-orders. So we'll schedule it now. But it's as simple as that. That took us under 5 minutes to schedule it. And then if you want, like I mentioned before, you can also customize the badges shown on your collection and product pages in your localization settings. And then you can change the pre-order badges to say coming soon instead of pre-order, but just keep in mind that this setting is applied store-wide across all your campaigns. So the override that you create here is just for your product page. Now this is what your customers will see on the product page. The badge here will says pre-order by default, unless you customize the text to say coming soon, but then it will apply to all the pre-order badges store-wide. So just something for you to keep in mind. And then we click into the product page, a coming soon button will be here. That's unclickable for now. And then you can see there's messaging here that you can customize as well about when the pre-orders will open. And then so that's it. Very straightforward. So let's go activate the back in stock feature and add the waitlist sign up widget here, which you can see here. By default, it's not added to it. And we need to activate the back in stock feature, and then it will show up on the pre-order page as well. So in the back in stock settings here, we're on the back in stock feature homepage. So you can see the main dashboard and all the products and the metrics associated with them. In the settings, when we press configure, you can either enable it across your entire catalog or for selected products only, which is what we've done here. So this Jen Snow electric bike is the one that we've just set up a pre-order campaign for, schedule a pre-order campaign for. And then you can choose to send the emails automatically or manually. But the key feature here is you can control who to get notified first, how many of them, and when they'll get notified. So you can see here batch size, batch delay, and which customers should be notified first. So here's a smart sending example, right? If I have 500 people on the wait list, but I'm only stocking 20 of those electric bikes, let's keep it simple and pretend they're happy with any variants. I can send to the first 100 signups, wait for an hour, and then send to the next 100, and so on. This way, those who have signed up the earliest first will get first access. And I'm not sending people, again, I mentioned avoiding sending people to a sold out page, especially if you have very strong brand presence and strong product demand. It's just a terrible customer experience. Customer experience is such an important part of running pre-orders. And then so once you've added the product, we go back to the product page, and then we now see a notify me when available button underneath the coming soon button. What our merchants like about this setup is customers can sign up for the product in general. So you can see they can sign up for the product in general or just specific variants. So if you sell apparel, your customers likely won't care about the other sizes, right? So if someone only wants, let's just say, a large black hoodie, they won't get emails about the small white one that's coming back in stock. Although, there are some cases where you'll probably stock all the out of stock variants all at once anyway. Our form also helps you capture marketing content. So this simple tick box here. So you're growing your mailing list while building your waitlist at the same time. So a lot of other widgets out there, they don't have this chat box. So then you actually legally can't really email them after you've notified them about the restock. When you're ready to open up pre-orders, it's time to notify your waitlist. So first you visit the email template section from the left side app menu and check if this is the email we want to send. So up here, this is the pre-order fulfillment, pre-order email update, which we'll go through later. And then so this is the back in stock email. So you want to double check this. This is the email you want to send. This template is used across all of your restock notifications. So you can just use dynamic template tags just to keep it generic, or you can just customize it before you send out each batch each time. And then so once you've saved the email template, we go back to the back in stock feature. So we can click to a specific product, but actually double check all your smart sending options first, and then you can go back to the specific product, and then you can simply click send notification. So yeah, here send restock notifications. I'm just a bit mindful of which one I click into because I've got my personal emails listed here. I just realized that I didn't realize that when I was recording the video earlier. So yeah, click into the product, check the settings, blah blah, and then you send restock notifications. As simple as that. And then you'll see the metrics for each part of the funnel. You can break down by the performance, by variance as well. So view product and view variant breakdown. So all of these will help you validate demand and do your inventory forecast better. To open up pre-orders, you either wait for the scheduled start date to arrive, or you can move the start date forward in the campaign settings. So let's go back to the scheduled campaign. We stop the campaign first, and then we press edit, and then we bring the date forward. So just now I've already moved the date forward here. So today's the 18th of September, and I was recording it before 2 p.m. So yeah, start time is 2 p.m. here. And then so it's now back in draft mode, so we need to republish it again. And then the coming soon button on the product page here will then change to pre-order now. Another thing is once it changes to pre-order now, as in it swaps out the add to cart button, blah blah blah, the notify me widget here will automatically disappear until the the quantity of these electric bikes have been sold out, because we're only selling 20 of them in pre-order quantities. And then so once customers have bought more than 20 of them, this coming soon button will turn to sold out, and then the notify me widget will then pop up again to help you keep capturing the expression of interest, even though you can't capture pre-sales anymore because it went over the limit. Orders in the admin. So when a pre-order comes in, it will show up both in your Shopify order admin, so orders just as usual, along with all other normal orders, or you can view it in our app, viewing just the pre-orders on the campaign dashboard. So here, there's another campaign that we're running at the moment. It's active, it's live. And then so you can see here, sorry, I've been talking for too long for this video. All the info is there, whether it be pre-order revenue, so on the graph here, or the payment status. So if you're capturing partial payments, it will show partially paid. And then it's supposed to show you a credit card icon here. Oh, it might be in another campaign, where it will show you the deferred payment capture date as well. And then there's fulfillment status. Just now, earlier in this video, I show you an order where it shows scheduled, but the rest here are unfulfilled or on hold. And then so to make changes while the campaign is running, like extend the pre-orders or update the fulfillment date, you'll need to stop the campaign first. So you press stop campaign, which will take just a short time for it to happen. And then you press edit, you update the changes, and then you publish again. Payment options though, like the pricing and the discounts, can be changed without pausing. And if you bring forward or postpone the expected fulfillment date, not the campaign schedule start date, a banner like this here will pop up after you exit the sentence and ask whether you want to one-click email all the customers who've bought products in the campaign, and if you like to update the order status from scheduled to unfulfilled. Because if you're using a 3PL or using shipping platforms, somehow it's so weird that even though scheduled status is an official Shopify thing, these 3PLs and shipping platforms, most of them only recognize unfulfilled status. So, which is why we designed this feature, to make your life easier for you. You can update all the orders from scheduled status to unfulfilled just with one click, and obviously notify your customers. And then so let's click on the notify customers one as well. So you get to review the email first, edit the template if needed, and then before you send it to all relevant customers with just one click. Now, shipping delays are only a matter of when it will happen, not if, so you'll likely have to use this feature, unfortunately. Transparency is key to running pre-orders, as I've harped on a lot about throughout this video. So if you do end up having shipping delays, or actually you can use this for if your stock arrives early as well to give your customer a nice surprise, but if you do end up having shipping delays, don't shy away from letting your customers know. They've placed a pre-order, they know it'll take longer than normal compared to a normal order for shipping. You just need to give them a peace of mind that the shipment is on its way, that you haven't taken the money and then just ran away. And most of the time you'll be surprised that customers are very understanding if you keep them informed about the progress. Based on the merchants we've worked with, on average, we've seen less than 0.5% of pre-order cancellation. And those were actually because they had financial changes. It wasn't even because they were not happy about the shipping timelines. So just so I'll let you know, because a lot of people are worried about the pre-order cancellations. Speaking of pre-order cancellations, we do have an app extension where customers can log into their accounts and initiate pre-order cancellation on their end. Not that we want this to happen to you, but in case it does, let me show you first. In case it does, we've designed to make it easier for you to approve it instead of going back and forth through emails, your Shopify admin, live chat, social media, go look for an order, and only then you start the cancellation process. So it's actually just an activate extension here on the Early Bird app homepage, and then you press on the app, you add the widget, as simple as that, and then obviously you press save. It's just like installing an app, super simple, just a few clicks. So that's it. This is how you set up a coming soon campaign, capturing waitlist signups before you run pre-orders. Where do you go from here? So one thing I emphasize a lot on is all the tech you have, all the apps, they're only as good as how you execute everything. Your brand, product demand, your customer experience, and most importantly, your marketing and distribution will determine the results. If you're new to running pre-orders, or you might even be new to running your e-com store, watch my part 1 video to learn about the fundamentals of pre-orders. I think it's at the 15-50 minute mark. I briefly touched on marketing there, because the way I see it, an app should be a growth partner, not an expense. I also encourage people to try the manual setup or try out a free plan first, especially if you don't need the advanced features like deposits or smart sending options or running a campaign with to compare the variance performance. When you're ready to scale, we'll be here for you. Or even go try out the other pre-order apps first. Then you'll appreciate how well designed our app is. There's a reason why we got the Built for Shopify app badge, and also internally we're referenced by Shopify as a really well executed pre-order app. If you're already running pre-orders, you can audit your current process against what we went through today, and then you can look for opportunities to improve your pre-order customer experience. If you're ready to try Early Bird, we have a generous free plan for you to try at your own pace. Upgrade only when you're ready to scale, and we have a blog, help center with lots of informative and educational technical articles like pre-order policy template, how to enable split shipping and checkout, how to deal with mixed cart orders, how to edit order confirmation email, how to collect payment upon fulfillment, all these things should be quite useful for you as well. Of course, my co-founders and I are available for questions. Like I said, we want you to feel like we're your growth partner, not just an app expense. So any questions, let me know in the comments. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or email us at support@shopsite.com.au.